What is going on, traders? We got a lot to talk about. The market is not looking too good, and I want you guys to be prepared for what can potentially happen next. Before we start, like, subscribe, comment your thoughts below. Let's get into the video. So right now, we're looking at the SPY daily time frame. And as you guys can see, we still have our head and shoulders pattern. You got your shoulder here, your head here, and another shoulder here. And so we talked about this drop coming for quite some time, ever since I mentioned 598. And one thing I told you guys is that if we break below 598, it can get really ugly across the market. And that's exactly what happened. Jerome Powell spoke, bear stepped in, we broke below 598, and we headed as low as 579. And then we started to retest back towards the upside. We retested about 602, 600, give or take. We broke below 598 once again, and we headed back towards the downside. And we are currently holding the key level of 584. Now, if we break below 584, then we're looking at a move towards 580. Okay, 580. Now, this is where things get really important. If the SPY just so happens to give up this neckline between 578 and 580, you could be looking at a move towards this gap fill at around 576. But more importantly, because I mentioned this before, you give up this neckline on this head and shoulders pattern, you can start heading as low as the 560s on the SPY. Now, in case you're new to this channel and you're wondering where I'm getting 560 from, well, all you do is measure the projected move of this head and shoulders pattern. So you will bring a measurement tool, doesn't necessarily matter what it is. You measure from the top of the head to the bottom of the shoulder or to the neckline of the head and shoulders pattern. And then all you do is drag it to the bottom of the neckline. And there you go. You have your measured move all the way towards the 560. So again, if we break this neckline on this head and shoulders pattern, and the best way to confirm the neckline break is by the time the neckline is broken, your chances are you're at 576. And so if you break that neckline, there's a good chance you're going to start heading towards the 560s. And if that target just seems too, optimistic or anything like that, there is a gap and a fair value gap that needs to be mitigated in this area. So it's very much possible that we can head towards the 560s on the SPY. Now, for those of you who get mad at me for being short-term bearish or get mad at anybody for being short-term bearish, I would imagine that you will want to be excited. I'm excited for a drop. Why? Because these are buying opportunities. You're looking at buying opportunities. You're looking at trading opportunities back to the upside. So drops like this should get you excited. I'm excited for the market to drop. That way I can start investing into better prices or better discounts, right? So it's always weird when perma bulls or bullish traders get mad at the idea of the market dropping when ideally that's something you will want to happen because that's when everything is at a discount. So I always found that weird. I always found that funny, but maybe it's just me. So next we're going to, well, actually, let's talk about some upside here because I'm sounding a little too bearish, right? I'm already being told I'm a perma bear. So one thing we want to see is obviously this 584 level to be held, right? And if we just so happen to hold 584 and maybe we get some type of bounce from here, we can start heading towards 595 minimum. And then highest I'm looking at is between 598, which is our key level. We talk about 598 all the time. We can see a move towards 598 and 600. And if we just so happen to head towards these areas, I do imagine we're going to create some type of lower high once again and then break down all over again. So if we do see a bounce from here, again, I will take it with a grain of salt. Obviously, I'm going to trade the upside. I'm not, I don't have a bias towards the downside or anything. But I do imagine if we retest 598 or even 595 at minimum, that we're going to see some type of rejection from up here before we start seeing that next leg down. So that's what I'm looking at if we are talking about being bullish. Now, something you want to see if you're talking about all-time highs, because I do think we're going to see newer highs. It's just all a matter of when. If you want to see new highs, I would want us to reclaim not only 598, but 602. We reclaim 602, then chances are we're heading to 604. And after that, you're heading towards previous highs at around 608.5, 608.6. And then the highs, if we're talking about all-time highs, I would be looking at around 614 on the SPY. So that's what I'm looking at in regards to both sides right now. I'm leaning more bearish than bullish. If we do get a retest back towards the upside, then those are your key levels to look out for. And so the triple Qs. Triple Qs, we talked about this. I said the triple Qs gives up 515. You're heading towards 510. We haven't quite, I don't think we hit, yeah, we hit 5. Yeah, we got close. We hit about 510, right? And so I told you guys 510 is one of my targets that we're going to head towards. And so from here, if we give up 510, then we're heading towards this zone, supply and demand zone right here at around 507. And after that, you're looking at a move towards 503. Lowest I'm looking at for the triple Qs, at least for the short term, is around 492. I know that's hard to believe. We like to believe that stocks only go up, but I do believe that at some point in time in the near future, we're going to see that move towards 492. Ironic enough, there is a gap here. There's actually two gaps in this area. So that's where I think we're going to head towards in the near future if we are talking about continuation towards the downside. And so your key level here to pretty much get some type of confirmation that we're going to head there is about 500, between 500 to 498. Your first key level is 503. After 503, you're going to head towards 500. You're going to stop these guys out of their, or you're going to want to stop these guys out of their position. And after that, you're looking at a break below 496. And then obviously you're going to head towards that 492 target. So that's what I'm looking at for the triple Qs in regards to downside. Now, in regards to upside, we want to reclaim 515. After 515, you're looking at 518. And then from 518, you're looking at about 522, 523, give or take. And for me to start talking about highs again, or even start being remotely bullish again, I would like to see a move back above 529. Now, you can argue that we could form some type of double bottom here. It's very much possible. Again, I mean, you can just you got your bottom here, right? You have another potential bottom here if we get some type of bullish candle or some type of bounce from here. And then your neckline for the double bottom will be at around, I want to say yeah, exactly, 529, 530, give or take. And so if we break above 529, I would say 530 as your psych level, you can start seeing a move towards previous highs at around 537, 539, give or take. And then after that, if we're talking about all-time highs or newer highs, 542. And then from there, we can see a move as high as the 550s. So that's what I'm looking at for the triple Qs. Now, some stocks that Discord members have requested for me to go over. First thing is Tesla. And so I warned about this. I've been warning about this. I told you guys that Tesla is going to drop. Congratulations to Discord members. I even showed you guys a trade on my last video that we took. We took those 415 puts on Tesla for January 17th. We took profit on those. So congratulations to Discord members. And congratulations to you if you just so happen to traded Tesla yourself to the downside. And from here, I do think Tesla can potentially see more downside. Now, they do have delivery numbers, and also there was some news about a Cybertruck blowing up outside of the Trump Hotel. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But in regards to a potential bounce, it's very much possible that we do see some type of bull trap. If maybe delivery numbers, come in and save the day, then we could form some type of dead cat bounce from here where we just bounce off this key area of about 400, 403, and then we see a move back towards the 450s. There is a fair value gap that needs to be mitigated up here. So if something was to cause that, I imagine the news tomorrow would cause that, or maybe Trump's inauguration would cause that. We'll have to see. But if we continue to break down on Tesla, and let's say we break below, I would say 395. We break below 395, then you get very illiquid here. Let's actually zoom in so you guys can get a better look here. You get pretty, not I wouldn't say very illiquid, but you get pretty illiquid all the way to the 380s. I guess that's a, I guess that's very illiquid. But you can see a move as low as the 380s if you start breaking below not only 400 but 395 on Tesla. So that's what I would be looking out for. A move towards 380. Lowest you can be heading towards is this area right here. You guys see it here. You got a rejection here, another rejection here. So this is a very strong area. And me personally, I would be looking at this area at around 360, between 360 and 350 as some type of buying opportunity, especially if this happens before Trump's inauguration. So we'll see. I definitely like Tesla for the long term, but short term, it's just not looking too good. It's also important to note that we are creating lower highs so far. So you have your high here. Where to go? So you will have your, once again, you have your high here, and then you will have a lower high right here. And then at some point in time, maybe in the near future, you create some type of lower high once again, right around this area. right around not three, 450, 440, give or take, before you see another leg down. Now, if we just continue to head further down, which is very much possible given the news that just happened today, or even the news that we get tomorrow, then again, we can start heading towards minimum 380. Lowest I'm looking at is about 360, right where these guys are. So that's what I'm looking at for Tesla. Meta. So I gave you guys Meta in the last video, and so far things are playing out. I do think Meta is going to can head as low as about 560s. So far things are playing out pretty well on Meta. We actually did a 580 put on Meta, so that just shows you guys that I actually trade what I'm talking about. I don't just talk just to talk on this channel. I actually trade what I say. And so we did 580 puts for, I believe, January 17th on Meta. We took profit right before close because I just didn't want to hold too much over New Year's and then our premiums get eaten away. But I definitely think Meta can head much lower if the market allows it to. If Meta heads much lower, then I'm looking at a move as low as about 560s. But right now, we are holding a key level at around 585. So that's good. We get below 585. I would say 584 to be safe. You can start heading towards the 570s, between 577, 580. And then after that, you get pretty liquid all the way towards the 560s. So that's what I'm looking at for Meta in regards to downside. In regards to upside, until Meta reclaims 600, 601, there's not much to talk about. If Meta reclaims 600, 601, then you're looking at a move towards about 605. Right about here, after that, after 605, you're looking at a move towards 608, and then we'll have to see what happens from there. So Meta's not looking too good. Tesla's not looking too good. Can you get some type of dead cat bounce from here? Absolutely. But you just want to be cautious, is pretty much my overall point here. So the next stock that I'm going to look at is ABGO. And so AVGO is at a key level. Now, it did break this trend, so that is concerning. So maybe we get one more retest towards about 235, 240 before breaking down again if the market is looking to be bearish from this point on. But your key level that you want to see AVGO hold is about 228. If AVGO gives up 228, you can start heading as low as about, well, I wouldn't say as low, but at minimum, you're looking at this gap fill at around 223. You give up 223, I would say 220 as your psych level. You can start heading as low as the 215, 212, right where these guys are. Now, if you manage to stop these guys, like if you close below this guys, and I mean really get a close below these guys right here, okay, it gets really, really bad, like really, really bad. And we talk about how illiquid areas work, right? If you've been on this channel for quite some time. So if you break below, I would say 210, your psych level, you get very, very, very illiquid all the way to about 185, 188 on AVGO. So I do think we're going to head there towards 188 because I believe there were whales were trading contracts on that. I just can't remember where I saw it. But right here, I mean, you see it right here, clear as day, guys. I mean, you got rejection here, you got your rejection here, you got your rejection here as well. So yeah, AVGO can head as low as 188 if we are entering some type of short-term bear market. So definitely would look out for that. And also it's important to note that you are creating lower highs. You got your high here and another lower high here on AVGO. Next up is Microsoft. So yeah, Microsoft's not looking too great either. Now, I was watching Microsoft, I believe yesterday, the day before New Year's. So yeah, I was watching Microsoft and I already had it in my mind that it was going to head towards the 420s, but unfortunately we didn't get to trade it. Well, I didn't trade it simply because I didn't want us to hold too much over the New Year holiday. But yeah, Microsoft can definitely head much lower. It's currently breaking below trend. Now, what I will say is that again, if we do get some type of dead cat bounce, I don't think I've talked about a bounce on AVGO, but if we do get some type of bounce from here, maybe this is some type of short-term bear trap. We can see a retest all the way back towards 238, 237, give or take. Clear this area out, these fair value gaps out before heading down all over again, and we start heading towards the low 400s on Microsoft. Right, so that's what I'm looking at for Microsoft. Now, if we're talking about upside, and we want to see like Microsoft go crazy or something like that, you want to see Microsoft just honestly get back into the 450s. Until then, there's not much to talk about when it comes to the stock. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Microsoft's just been really annoying to trade. I'll say that much. It's just a really annoying stock to trade as of lately because it doesn't really follow the market, but it does at the same time, if that makes sense. If you follow Microsoft, you kind of understand what I'm saying here. Nvidia. because if I don't talk about Nvidia, man, you guys go crazy in the comments. So yeah, Nvidia. So Nvidia, if Nvidia gives up 133, well, I'm not 133, 134, you can start heading towards 132. You want to see 132 hold. You guys see it here. You bounced here. You bounced here, you bounced here. You had some type of, false breakdown here, but bull step back in, so you bounced here as well. So you really want to see this 132, 131.8 area hold. You start giving that up, then you can start heading towards 128 on Nvidia. Short term, I do think Nvidia has the potential to head towards 120, between 120 and 115. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And the reason why I'm saying that, because we are trading within a bull flag on Nvidia, so that is a great sign for at least the long term. So you could head to as low as the bottom of this flag, all the way towards about 115 range before seeing some type of bounce up. But if you do just so happen to bounce, or maybe you get some type of dead cat bounce, it is important to note that there is a inverse head and shoulders pattern here. It's not the cleanest, it's not the best or anything like that, but it's definitely there. You can argue that it's not. It's up to you. Don't necessarily care. But you got your shoulder here. You have your head here. You guys get the idea. Here we go. Oh, nope. We'll just use this guy. So you got your head here, and then you have another shoulder here. So you really want to see Nvidia hold this area for a potential breakout. If you break a back above 140s, then you definitely have a chance towards 143. Your key level, obviously, before 140 is 138, but obviously we just been cutting through that level so much that it doesn't necessarily matter anymore. I would say 140. You get back above 140.5, you can start talking about a move towards this resistance up here at around 143, 144. So that's what I'm looking at for Nvidia. That's pretty much all I have for this video. We can look at Bitcoin real quick. Right now, Bitcoin is somewhat breaking out of this falling wedge, so that could be a good sign for the market. Not yet convincing yet. Again, like I said, I've said this before. Until Bitcoin gets back above 100K, I don't care for it anymore. I really don't. Until it gets back above 100K, you can look at a move towards 102, and then after that, 102.7 to be exact. And then after that, 105, and then 108. But other than that, as long as Bitcoin just stays below 100K, I'm not really interested in it. That's just me. As far as downside goes, 92K, honestly, 91K. If you break below 91K, then you got to hold your psych level at 90K. You break below 90K, you're going to head towards 85K. Pretty easy. So that's all I have for this video. If you agree, let me know in the comments below. If you disagree, let me know. Just keep it respectful as always. Hope you guys enjoyed your new year. We went over a lot. Discord link will be in the description below. I really, really, despite the trolls and all that, I truly appreciate you guys. This channel has been growing like crazy. I do this for fun. I definitely do this for fun, guys. When you troll in my comments, I troll right back. I don't look for monetization or anything like that. I do this YouTube thing for fun. It keeps me busy, and I like to see the outcome or you guys' thoughts in the comments as well. So really appreciate the support. Let's keep this thing going. We're pretty close to 5K subscribers. Hoping to get to 10K subscribers this year. We'll see. And until the next video, traders, have a good one.